What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about my Mesa Boogie Red Stripe Mark III here. And it started out as a combo. I found it on eBay probably about 6 months ago. It was all black, came with a black shadow on the inside, was just serviced by the tech that worked on Santana's amps. And it came with a road case, and it came with the foot switch, came with all 12AX7 Mesa preamp tubes, and came with two new EL34s plus some random Fender 6L6s. So of course I had to jump on it. It was listed as $700 shipped from Nevada up for bid, and then it was buy it now $900. I spoke with the seller, he agreed to $900 shipped, and within 3 hours of finding the amp and talking to him, it was on its way to my house. As soon as I received it, it absolutely sounded killer. I had never really messed with Mesa Mark III, except for a buddy of mine has a blue stripe, and that amp is probably the most aggressive, gained out, high gain amplifier I've ever played. It is absolutely disgusting. It's terrifyingly loud as well, but that's beyond the point. So when I saw the red stripe, and I did a little more delving into the modifications that Mesa had done, this is apparently the closest you can get to a Mark II C+, which is what Metallica and a bunch of other metal gods used back in the day. But this one in particular sounds absolutely just perfect to me. I've played a multitude of different high gain amplifiers, and I have to say this one has the most character and is really multifaceted, because not only does it recreate any distorted sound that you could possibly believe, but it also has a great clean tone, and it has a rhythm 2 crunch channel. So that's perfect for more of like a hardcore tonality. But realistically, just overall, the amp sounds killer. This one is a simulclass, which means it can run EL34s and 6L6s simultaneously, giving you a 60 watt output at 4 ohms. My buddy, the one that has the blue stripe, he recommended that I use all 6L6 in the simulclass position, and that'll give me 85 watts at 4 ohms, kind of like the Mark IV. And I have to say, that is my favorite configuration. I was using it as a simulclass. I use this Class A as a little bit too, just to see the difference. And I prefer 6L6s. I also have a Mesa Tremoverb. I've done the EL34 6L6 test on that one too. I prefer 6L6s usually, as always. EL34 is a little more harsh and gained out for me. 6L6 just gives that punchy and just gnash, the grinding teeth kind of tonality that I'm looking for. So this one in particular has to be one of my favorite amplifiers that I own. It came in as a black combo. I found a guy named Raw Cabs on eBay. He had particularly a red stripe head shell, and I thought that was the most interesting thing, because it's very hard to find head shells that are factory, that are from Mesa Boogie owners that converted their heads into combos. It's more rare than the opposite, to where people convert their combos into heads. And I had already done a couple of different conversions with a Trainer TS140, and I also did a PV Renown as well. But this one's a lot easier because I didn't have to do any cutting or anything like that. I wanted to preserve the cab that I got with it, because it's a high quality combo cab. But this one on eBay was $232 shipped. The guy made a custom version of the red stripe, just based on his own specifications of his own amplifier that he had, and it ended up coming out perfect. I was able to steal the feet and the handle from my Mark II-B, and also the shock mounts, because those are impossible to find. And then it has the reverb cutout on the bottom. On the back, it has a nice wood bar that you can also customize with whatever finish you choose. I chose a Bombay mahogany stain, and I'll also be showing kind of like a speed run of me actually applying the stain, and we're going to talk about that too a little bit. But overall, I'm just very happy with how this amplifier came out. I wanted it to be more of a dark reddish kind of hue, just based on it being a red stripe, but also I just like that classic dark wood stain with the nice blonde or gold kind of rattan. I also have a Mark II-B that has the dark walnut finish with like a more of a roasted gold rattan on it, and I just really like the look of that. So I think it came out killer. Let's take a look at the footage of me applying the stain, and we'll talk about that a little more. Here I am applying the stain. I used stain prep first. That was the first step, then the first coat. And once that dried, I came in a little later on in the day and put on the first step of the Minwax oil-based stain that I used. As I said, it was a Bombay mahogany color, and it ended up coming out fantastic. But it does take some patience and some time. I recommend using a couple of chip brushes from Home Depot. I think that they're 60 or 80 cents per brush. I used, I think, 3 brushes, possibly 4, throughout the whole process, but I definitely coated the head shell, I believe, 3 times, I want to say, just to give it that nice dark hue and to kind of take any drips or anything out and work them out over the total coat. But overall, it ended up coming out very nice. As you can see in the background, that there were 2 Muscovy ducks that just kept coming up to me because we regularly feed them, and they probably believed that I had food. Here's a photo of what the combo looked like and the head shell looked like before I started. The combo, as I said, was wonderful, and it was a nice gloss black, and as you can tell, that the Mark III chassis just fit perfectly into the bare head shell. Just wanted to make sure before I swapped the Mark II-B chassis I had into that combo. So this is the stack of what everything looked like afterward. That's the front end of the converted cab, or the head shell. That is the combo Mark III, and that was my rattan Mark II-B on the bottom. Okay, so here it is so far. So I got the rattan here from Amazon. It was like $13. And then you soak it in water and you put it over the front panel. I just put some staples in it. And then if you could see, I kind of hid the screws behind in the holes. So I think it looks great for the front panel. I'm about to take the badge off and switch the amp itself and take the handle off and put it onto here. And then I want to show you guys. So the inside, got the reverb tank in. I don't know if it was intended to go downward because the guy that made the cab, he screwed it from the inside, but it's physically impossible to get a drill on the inside of there. And even a screwdriver, I mean, it's hard to get straight down. So I don't know how he did it. Either way, maybe a mini screwdriver, but either way, I did from the underside and just left it like this. I might put some cloth or something over that just to cover it a little more, but other than that, I think it looks pretty great. Ultimately, I'm ready to put the actual chassis in, and let's see what it looks like. There it is, the finished product. As you can see, the front is a little darker presenting only because of the layers of stain I had to do to make sure there's no overt runs or dripping showing. However, it ended up coming out looking really clean and really nice. The back presents that Bombay mahogany color so well, and just overall, it was a great project. Thanks for joining me again, and I'll have some more content for you guys soon.